Hi. In good time zone. And what is up, gamers? Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Hope you're having the loveliest of lovely Thursdays. It is, as always, wonderful to be here, hanging out with y'all. And, Shaw here. Oh, there I am. Hi. I'm here, too. Hello. Welcome in. And hello, friends. I see we've got some redeems straight up top, but let me check in with chat and say hello first. And hello, indeed, to Tals. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Q2s, hello and welcome. Thank you for the Shaw. And Shaw to you too. Hello, Turnip. Welcome in. Miss Song, Silksong says Q2s. Correct. Very correct. And that's who we're painting today. This is Silksong, the famous medieval gremlin. Q2 has asked me to hydrate, so I will do that. I have a cup of coffee with an insanely long spoon in it, but it's delicious. So let me have myself a little sip. But oh man, that coffee's good. That coffee's delicious. It's cold now, but it's still really tasty. Good stuff. I'm so happy. I also have an affirmation to do, so I will do that. Sippy paint water. You know, the thing is, the paint water, notwithstanding a tiny piece of Warhammer detritus that was stuck to the bottom of the container, this is a brand new water cup, I think, because I didn't know where my previous water cup was. It was over here. So this water cup has had paint in it. I don't think this water cup has had paint in it. So this is just like, this is water plus whatever was in a film canister. I don't know if it's strictly food safe, but it's probably fine anyway, so I'm not gonna do it, no! Do you want, listen, Q2s, listen, I have an incredibly delicate immune system, okay? Like, I can't even eat a large number of, like, regular, nominally safe foods without having some kind of reaction. You know, lactose? But no, Cramp City. Wheat and gluten, forget it. Like, it's just symptoms galore. Mushrooms, I swell up. Like, I've had too many, I don't know, those injections that give you big lips and stuff. Botox, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, the bad ones. You could do it for the meme that would not die. I'm not doing it! It sets a bad example, and then other people are gonna ask me to do it. So, no. Black Tomcat says, sorry to hear, must be tough to find shoes when you lactose. Oh! Thank you for that. That was delightful. Also, hello Tomcat, welcome in. We're doing a little affirmation here. So I hope that you are ready. Chat, are you ready to be affirmed? Are you ready to feel some... Are you ready to feel some feelings? And come away from the experience feeling better about yourself? And life and stuff. I hope so, because God knows I do. I had to mute some keywords on social media this morning because there's a lot of things happening at the moment that I'm not going to talk about here because you know, this is a stupid little art stream, and part of the stupid little art stream is for my stupid little mental health. That I just need to, sometimes you just gotta step away and be like, you know, I cannot affect or impact these things in any way, shape, or form, and I'm very aware of them right now. So I'm gonna take a little break for my stupid little mental health. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm basically living in, like, hashtag Star Trek on socials right now. Anyways, did you mute Shaw? Absolutely not. That being said, once again, please no Silksong spoilers. I know that this is not, that this is not a game stream, but this artwork is related to a game that's just been released that I'm not very far into. Some of y'all might not have played yet. Okay, real talk. I've just put a message in chat. I'm gonna pin it if I can. Just again, I feel like y'all are chill, and I think y'all know the drill by now, so I think it's fine. but just in case anyone pops in and is like, oh, is that character from that game that just released? I just finished it and I can't believe, and then they spoil the ending. So just in case, I'm 100% serious about this, and I think y'all are aware of the deal. You don't joke about spoilers, and you don't post spoilers. There might be other people in here who are planning to play it and haven't at all yet, so let's keep it safe for everybody, okay? Anyways, oh, heck, Turnip says, not gonna lie, every time Garish graces my feet on Blue Sky, I feel blessed. Me too, Turnip, me too. I love them very much. No spoilers, my car doesn't have one, says Q2's, fair enough. But not even joking about spoilers, I had a really good one about the cars from Fast and Furious. Oh, y'all, the hive mind is switched on and doing an amazing job today. Good job, both Q2s and Tomcat. Yeah, anyways. Tokyo Drift was great. I've never seen it. I've seen a review of it, but I haven't actually seen any of the Fast and Furious movies. There's like 50 now, I think. I know there's some actors I recognize that are in some of them. There's, oh geez, I feel like, I don't know. There's cars. It's got cars in it, but it's not like the cars from Cars where the cars have personalities. It's like the people have personalities, and some of them are friends, and some of them aren't friends. And, oh, there's a girl in it who I thought was cute. I don't remember what her name is, but there was a girl in it who I thought was cute. But I also know nothing about her, so whatever. Listen, I don't really do celebrity crushes, can you tell? Are you fasting furious? No, I'm silking your song. Tal says, I have also seen no fast and not even a single furious. Nope. Let's have an affirmation, y'all. Let's affirm something. Oh, I like this one. Romanticize Your Life. Starring Focus. This camera's autofocus is taking some getting used to. There we go. Look at his whittle face. I love this guy in his fancy boy nightgown. And it says romanticize your life. And you know what? I wholeheartedly agree. Sometimes you've just got to, you know, like the little ritual of getting up in the morning and making yourself a coffee, you know, can be something that is so whimsical if you just let it be whimsical. And I find that helps, you know, just sitting and hand sewing like the hem of a skirt on my sofa and watching cooking videos that's pretty mundane, but also there's just something kind of neat about it. There's something that's kind of nice about it, you know. It's not Instagram video aesthetic nice, but it's just nice. So yeah, just I don't know, take those little moments, the nice little things, you know. You go outside and like, oh, the mushrooms have started sprouting up in the grass because it's becoming autumnal. That's super nice. Just feel, you know, take a what am I saying? Imagine that. How do you know I'm a shrimp, Q2s? That's mean, but also I will do a little stretch. Imagine if you're in, like, the most pleasantly aesthetic bits of a Ghibli movie without any of the sad bits. That would be my suggestion. Anyways. Just consider that like, just the tiny, incidental, stupid, pleasant details of your life. Just appreciate how lovely and romantic and wonderful and whimsical and delightful they can be. And just making yourself remember that from time to time is a really nice way to just take a break from the horrors. So yeah, gazillion out of 10 do recommend, you know, like, ooh, use the tea measuring spoon that's rainbow. That's nice. That's something I did today. I've got another tea brewing in the kitchen because I was like, I don't have enough time to let this brew before I have to go start stream. So I'm just going to like leave it there and it's just going to be like over brewed by that point, but it's not black tea. So like it'll be fine. It'll just be like extra spicy, I guess, which I don't really have a problem with. Anyways, it was obvious as Q2s. I'm actually going to do, okay, so I did a posture check. I did straighten up a little bit, but I'm just going to, well, not straight, obviously, but I am lengthening my spine. I'm stretching over to the left. No, that was the right. Now I'm stretching over to the left. I have a sense of direction. I really don't. Obviously not straight, but not quite as queer. I don't think I could ever. No amount of lengthening my spine could remove the queer from me. No amount of like doing yoga every day and having like the best spine alignment and posture I possibly could will keep me from sitting incorrectly in basically every chair or seat I ever sit in. So I will never be escaping the allegations that I am indeed bi as Christmas. Anywho, as long as you're having a jolly gay time doing it. Oh, I'm having the gayest old time out here. Hell yeah. We're having a gay old time. Anyways, gremlin mode. Let's go, says Turnip. Oh, my shoulder muscles. Oof, ouch. I was hunched over a laptop for hours today, doing extremely mundane things. It was fine. I don't know why that was a song. Is anyone still here? Anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I started stream a little bit late because it turns out that my computer needed to run an update. But in addition to that, just before I was about to start stream, I was 98% of the way into a VOD render for the VOD of my first couple hours of Silksong play over on my Friday streams. And wouldn't you know it, it got 98% of the way in. And if for whatever reason you ever want to watch old VODs of this channel, you can do that there. I make the channel, and it is painstaking because it takes hours to render the VODs to post there because I use music on this stream from Epidemic Sound, which I do not have. I'm not paying to use on more than one YouTube channel, and I already have a regular YouTube channel where I use Epidemic Music, so I can't use it on my second VOD channel, which means I have to edit out the music and re-render it in DaVinci, and it takes so long. That thing was rendering all afternoon, got to 98% of the way done, and the program decided to not respond. When I tell you I was having some feelings about that, I trust you understand and take my meaning. Tal said, for some reason, the curling up talk made me think of that friendly giant and how it described the little chairs. No, I know. I remember the friendly giant and how he was like a giant man. And so he had like a little tiny fireplace for the normal sized children to gather round and little tiny chairs for them to sit in, a little rocking chair for a little child who likes a rocking chair, and a nice sort of cozy little chair where 2 or 3 kids could kind of cozy up and get all warm and comfy. Yeah, I remember the friendly giant. Oh man, what a good reference. It's so cute. If you don't know of whence I speak, it was a deeply whimsical children's show. And it was lovely. And something that I remember from when I was a very little youngin'. So thank you for that. Anyway, speaking of things for youngins, earlier today I was thinking about, now I don't really have cause to watch contemporary children's TV very often, But so there's a new Star Trek show that is, I think, airing. I think they're just putting the episodes on YouTube, but it's for like preschool aged children, and I haven't seen any of it, but apparently like it's fine. It's fine. According to the one reviewer I saw, it kind of felt like this is really cute, but it feels like there's more that they could be doing in like an educational vein that is more in line with, sort of like the mission of Star Trek as a franchise of media at this point, than just like, let's go do silly things and have it more be like, let's learn about science while we do silly things. And it feels like a bit of a shame that they're not taking advantage of that. Oh man, maybe I was a weird kid, but I loved any show that was about like science. That was my bag. Teach me things. I want to learn. I'm learning as an adult that this might not be universal as an experience. I'm very surprised and confused by this. Anywho, but it got me thinking about like children's TV shows and how generally, like I there's a lot of them that I haven't seen, obviously, because I'm not a parent. But there's a lot of children's media that I just generally, like, unironically enjoy as a non-parent adult. And I was thinking about, I've never seen the show Bluey. Maybe I should watch the show Bluey. I hear that Bluey is popular with, like, parents as well as their kids. Maybe I should watch some episodes of Bluey and see whether or not it's a fun show. And I got about 3 minutes into, like, one episode of Bluey, and I was like, I think if I keep watching this, I'm gonna have too many emotions and cry about stuff. So I decided that maybe I'll leave that for not just before I stream. That felt like a bit of a maybe not the best time to do it. But no, it seems like a really cute show. It's about a little Australian dog and her family, as far as I can tell. Of course, there is a place for children's media that isn't in any way, shape, or form educational. That's just for fun times, and I think that's important as well. To just, have a show. Anyways, but yeah, Blue is cute. She's a little Australian dog, and she has a little family, and it's fresh as heck as far as I can tell. Anyways, my moderator / spouse and I went through a phase of binge watching all of the Hey Dougie episodes on BBC iPlayer, to the extent that we bought 2 of the characters as plushes from Hey Dougie. We have, I think, Rowley and Betty. And if you squeeze them, they say things from the show. It's very cute. Turnip says, Hey Dougie is the greatest. Hey Dougie is adorable. I like the animation style as well. I think it's very cute. It's very well done. And it's a fun time. And, all the little children are precious. And Dougie is a very good, I was gonna say authority figure, but I don't know. Guardian, teacher, whatever Dougie's job is. Childminder. Anyways, so I have dumped a bunch of water into this red pan because I need to finish painting these red bits. I have a plaster on, which I hope isn't going to hamper my ability to paint too much. It's on my non-dominant hand, which hopefully will be helpful because I'm genuinely a little nervous about doing this. I'm gonna go upside down for this section, and see how we get on. But I'm also terrifying, absolutely terrifying, so terrified. Turnip says, I saw a small person carrying a Milky Way and proudly singing the Stick song from Hey Dougie. Oh, bless. Sticky, sticky, stick, stick. What a wonderful song. That is super, super cute. I get that song stuck in my head quite regularly. It's a great song. Also, man, now I wish I had a Milky Way. Oh, speaking of Milky Ways, I was like over 40 years old, I swear, when I learned that in the America, I think Milky Way bars are what are Mars bars here. And they just don't have Mars bars in America, I think. Is that how it is? I think that's the deal. Because they have a chocolate bar that's like a Milky Way, but it's called the Three Musketeers bar. But I think the Milky Way bar is what we call a Mars bar. Don't quote me on that. But I think that's the deal. Do they have Snickers? America, do you have Snickers? If not, I'm sorry. We had regular Mars bars in Canada, so I don't know. But yeah. Things that you would think are relatively universal. There's a chocolate. I don't know if they have Mars bars in New Zealand, but they have a very similar chocolate bar called a Moro, which it's not from the Mars company actually. It's a Cadbury's chocolate, but it's very similar to a Mars bar. But I think it's nicer. I've been known to like order like 6 Moro bars online and keep them in the fridge for when I want a treat. Because I like the Moro bar better than Mars. Anyways, this seems to be accurate since sort of why would you put caramel in a Milky Way? I know there's not supposed to be caramel in it. That's what makes it Mars. You've taken something that's supposed to be a single planet and like turned it into an entire galaxy. What are you doing? Oh, I'm so confused. Also, why are so many chocolate bars named after like space things? We've got Milky Way, we've got Mars, and we've just got generically galaxy chocolate as well. What the hell is going on? I'm so confused. Tomcat says I keep mixing up Milky Way and those coconut chocolate bars that I think start with that's Bounty, yeah. Bounty is the one where I don't remember, I can't remember if it's Celebrations or the other one, but you know when you get those like tubs or boxes of like assorted mini sort of like single serve chocolate bars that you know people like get given as gifts around Christmas time, or will just randomly show up in like the kitchen at an office or what have you. I will always eat the Bounties if it's the one with Bounty in it, because nobody else wants the Bounty, and I am happy to eat the Bounty. So it means that I get to have like 6 of those tiny chocolate bars and not feel bad about it, because everyone else always leaves the Bounties, and I'm like, I'll eat them. I'm fine with that. I don't think I've ever wanted to eat a Milky Way, says Tomcat. I wouldn't even know what they taste like. It's this sort of like whippy-ish, sort of soft, semi-chocolatey nougat filling in the middle of chocolate. It's very sweet. Mars bars in the U.S. have almonds in? What the hell? They have Mars bars, but they have almonds in them? What the... I almost said a swear, because I'm so freaking confused right now. What the heck? What? They have Mars bars, but they have almonds in them? You know, I'm gonna be real, that sounds kind of good. The almond might cut through the sweetness of it a little bit, and I don't mind a tittle bit of texture. But that being said, why do they have to make these things so confusing? Why isn't there any kind of consistency or, why are they all so different? It's so bizarre. That's really weird. That's so weird, Turnip. Anyways, there was actually, I feel like there was a guy on YouTube who recently did a video about, it was specifically to do with the fact that, yes, they do have Snickers in the US, I believe, but Snickers in the UK used to be known as Marathon, or Marathon, I guess, and then got rebranded to Snickers to be in line with the same chocolate bar from the same company from other regions. But why the name change? Why didn't other countries change Snickers to Marathon? Why was it a different name in the first place for the same chocolate bar? So many questions. And that guy on YouTube did do a wonderful job of answering that question. So I won't do it here because I don't remember. But if you look it up, I'm sure you'll find him. He's a British dude who talks about a lot of random shit. He's great. Anyways. I thought the recipes were standard across the markets. The more you know, says Turnip. Yeah, I know. It's like mind blown. I still think it's wild that, like, I don't think any country other than Canada has Coffee Crisp, which was one of my favorites back in Canada. And also, y'all don't have Caramilk, which is another firm favorite. I mean, it's just squares of chocolate filled with runny caramel in a bar shape. But it's a good one. Though I know you can just get, I think you can just get like a caramel, like a dairy milk caramel type bar here. And I know that if anyone remembers, I don't remember these because I didn't grow up with them, but I've seen many compilations on YouTube of classic British adverts because this is the kind of thing that I have special interest in. The Cadbury's Caramel Bunny, who I'm given to understand was the pre-furry special feelings awakening of many a young adolescent lad who's just like, why do I feel some kind of way about the Cadbury's Caramel Bunny? To be fair, she is weirdly sexual. Like, it is weirdly sexual. Anyways. Turnip says, I was sure I had seen a Caramilk in the UK. Turns out it's a different chocolate it is a different chocolate with the same name. Because you can get Caramilk here, but it's like caramelized white chocolate as opposed to milk chocolate that's filled with caramel. I forgot about that bunny, says Turnip. She was like, yeah, I don't know if I could get away with showing like an advert that she's in on the stream. Or if it'll get, it won't get flagged for TOS, but I don't know if I can get away with showing this on the stream, but I can try and find it. Hold up. Caramel Bunny advert. Let's see. Cadbury's Caramel 1980 ad. Yep, here she is. I'm going to indeed try. I'm going to try. I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try. So bear with. Where's my show and tell? Is not showing you anything because I can't figure out how to get it to just. It will no longer remember the window that I want to capture, so I have to like manually enter it every single time. So here we are. Hopefully this will work. I don't know, but we'll try. For anyone who isn't familiar.
Hey, Mr. Beaver. Why are you beavering around? Haven't you heard of Cadbury's Caramel? See, as the thick Cadbury's milk chocolate melts with that dreamy caramel, you just have to take things really easy. Looks like somebody else could do with some. Take it easy with Cadbury's Caramel.
And there you have it. I hope that worked. The voice probably doesn't help, says Tomcat. The agency that came up with this ad absolutely knew what they were doing. They're like, how can we make a cartoon rabbit sexy? And then they did that. Oh my god. I don't know. I don't recall anything similar to that as like a chocolate ad when I was growing up. So, you know, I had to have like the normal like 80s kid awakenings. David Bowie in the movie Labyrinth. That was enough, honestly. Anyway. Oh, man. Anywho, this redness, it's taken so much longer than I thought it was going to. Which is what I get for deciding to do as a traditionally painted piece something that has just a stupid amount of extremely tiny little details. Lola Bunny, says Tomcat. Oh yeah, I remember Lola Bunny. She was like, was she introduced in the movie Space Jam? Because she was one of the she was one of like the Looney Tunes cartoons, but she wasn't like a classic Looney Tunes character. I think she was introduced for like Space Jam or sometime around that era. Because I don't know, they were like, there's too many boys. We need a girl character, and she also needs to be sexy. Oh. Anyways, and then there's also, what is it about bunny characters that keep getting, I mean, I guess Playboy bunnies are also, what is it about, like, horny people and bunnies? I don't understand. Because there's also that one Pokemon that kind of makes me uncomfortable. With the way that it, like, I feel like I have not looked to confirm this because I do not care to, but I'm 100% sure people have made, like, things I could not show on this stream of that Pokemon. You know the one. Jessica Rabbit. Well, Jessica Rabbit was more person rabbit, but she was married to a rabbit. And was also, I know from friends telling me, was like their like cartoon character awakening. Bunnies like other bunnies very much since turn of. I like bunnies as they're like cute and they've got they're sweet little friends and they like to eat vegetables and sit and hippity hop around your back garden sometimes. Over the years my parents have had various bunnies visit their back garden. There must be either some wild bunnies or some escaped pet bunnies that have gone feral in like the woods near their house, because they'll just have like a regular visitor for a little while and then they'll move on. I remember there was one that my dad, they didn't like, you know, feed them or approach them in any way. They just, you know, watched from a respectful distance because they're wild animals. But there was this one that my dad became especially attached to, and he had just upgraded his internet to like a better quality internet. The day that he saw this bunny for the first time. So he was like, I'm going to name this rabbit Modem. And Modem was a dear friend of the house for some time. He's like, look, Modem's in the backyard. Aww. I loved Modem. Anyways. Tomcat says, wow, do you really think people would do that? Just draw cartoon characters in ways one cannot show on stream? No way! Having had to look up a lot of references for various Hollow Knight characters, preferably trying to find game screenshots to get like an accurate reference, but not wanting to have to navigate my way through an entire playthrough of the game to get to the right point in the game that I can go look at that character. Spent a lot of time on Google image search looking up things like Hollow Knight Cloth, Hollow Knight Mantis Lords, Hollow Knight Cornifer, and finding a lot of artwork where they've somehow managed to take like a character that looks like this and just given him big boobies. So yeah. And if that's what you want to draw, I wholeheartedly support you. Is it what I want to find when I'm trying to find references for Hollow Knight, like character sprites? It is not, and I don't want to look at it per se, but I wholeheartedly support your right to do so, even if it is not for me, because that's important. You don't have to like something to support its right to be made, I reckon. Anyways. Thar. What was my point? I don't know. I've got on a tangent. Oh, why are we let's pivot, everybody. Let's pivot. What's for dinner tonight? I don't actually know. I think I might have gnocchi. I've got some gnocchi in the fridge that I need to cook. So I might have gnocchi with some with a nice sort of simple tomato sauce. Some of those lovely like yellow courgettes that you get in late summer. I think they have such a nice texture and flavor, and they're also fairly locally grown, which I love. Because I do try and eat as seasonally as possible, especially when it comes to things like fruit and vegetables. I try and buy things that are as locally grown as I can. It's a real struggle at certain times of year in this country because there does come a certain point where the only things that are grown locally that I can get in the shops are cabbage, carrots, potatoes, and maybe kale if I'm super lucky. And even then, some of those might be coming from like Spain. So, well, I guess I'm eating frozen peas again. But you know, oh, maybe I'll have fish and chips tonight because I do have chips also that need eating up. I do tend to eat very healthy, but you know, sometimes you just gotta have chips, and that's fine. Ooh, cacio e pepe, spaghetti. I need to carb load for tomorrow. I guess I should have started yesterday, but this is Tomcat. Hey, it's never too late to eat carbs. I support this and love this for you. My moderator / spouse is not a huge enjoyer of lots of black pepper in dishes, so I don't really make cacio e pepe very often. Sometimes more like just cacio, and mostly not pepe. Hello, Gumby. Welcome in. How are you doing? It is wonderful to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Oh man, I'm kind of tending towards actually wanting to just have chips tonight, which is, I don't know, like my body's craving vegetables, but my body is also craving go back to bed, just go have a nap right now. So, I'm somewhat of a tired bear. Maybe I should just throw some chips in the air fryer and call it a day. Microwave some frozen peas. Have some kids' meal for dinner. That doesn't sound like the worst thing. Ooh, you know what I really love to do with chips that I don't do often enough? You know what is like the best seasoning? Okay, the two best seasonings for chips, as far as I'm concerned, if you're gonna like season the chips with anything, number one is like chili powder, but not just like the ingredients red chili, but like the chili powder that's used to like season a chili, like the dish. So, you know, it's got chili powder in it, but it's also got like other spices and stuff like cumin and paprika and herbs and stuff. I don't remember. Anyways, super good. But also chaat masala. Chaat masala is the best thing to put on chips. Oh my god. Chaat masala loves potatoes so much, and specifically it loves chips so much. That is maximum comfort food for me. It's like, it's salty, it's flavorsome, it's a little funky, it's tangy, it's savory, it's so good. Gumby says chaat masala is powdered gold. Wholeheartedly agree. It's so good. It makes so many things delicious. It is the best seasoning, and I love it. Anyways. Tomorrow's lunch will be a mix between 2 and 3 bananas, a few Mars bars, and a Burger King, says Tomcat. Damn, that sounds like a nice day. Among the best seasoning for chips are... There's quite a few good seasonings for chips. I mean, I think the humble potato generally is an excellent vehicle for a lot of different ways you can season it. It's a very special vegetable. And I do think it deserves a lot of love. All of the things you can do with potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Chaat masala and chips sounds amazing, says Turnip. Yes, absolutely. Chips and cheese is top gear. Hell yeah. Top tier, sorry. Not a show about cars that I don't know whether or not is still going. But in my early days of living in the UK, I used to watch a lot of repeats of, because, man, there was this one TV channel that just does nothing but repeat old episodes of Top Gear, and I learned so many things about cars, and I forgot all of the things about cars. I don't know anything about cars anymore. It's great. Obviously also, like, an excellent chips choice for me personally as a Canadian is poutine, which is chips with cheese, curds, and gravy. Extremely comforting. Incredibly good. Very hard to come by in its purest form in this country because it is so stinking difficult to find cheese curds for sale. I miss them so much, y'all. Like, I can't even. Like, can you believe? Anyways. Gonna visit my parents by bicycle tomorrow, says Tomcat. Ooh, fun. And basically the only important thing is eat plenty while riding. It will be burned off anyway. Yeah, that's a big workout. I want chips and cheese now, says Startup. Curse my lack of chips in the freezer. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Cars go vroom, says Tals. Yes. Oh my god, y'all, speaking of cars. If you didn't see me talking about it on Blue Sky, I witnessed the craziest thing in the supermarket yesterday. We were making our way around the shops, and we passed this lady, I would say, if I had to guess, grandma-aged lady with two, like, sort of preschool-ish age children, maybe like 4 or 5 years old. I don't know. Anyways, 2 kids. And they were there's a tiny toy section in the supermarket. When I say a tiny section in the supermarket, it's maybe a little bit wider than this cutting mat that I'm using. And it's just on like the end of one aisle. And there's almost nothing there, right? But they do have a case of those Lego blind boxes. And what's in the Lego blind boxes at the moment, instead of being like a little like Lego minifigure like it normally is, it's actually a little Lego car. And they're different, like, actual Formula 1 cars, I believe. I don't know anything about Formula 1 cars, so don't quote me on this, but clearly there was some conversation happening between the grandma and at least one of the kids about these little Lego cars. And, that's a pretty normal occurrence, so we didn't think anything of it. And as we were going past the tills on our way to pick up some gluten-free stuff at the other side of the shop later on, I saw, lurking to draw while I watch, says, Turnip, have a lovely, lovely lurk. Thank you very much indeed for the lurk. Anyways, so we see this lady at the till with the 2 kids, and sitting on the conveyor belt at the till is not like one of the Lego blind boxes, which is, about this big, but the whole ass case of Lego blind boxes. And bearing in mind, one of these is £3.50, and there's something like, I think my moderator / spouse said that there's like 32 in a case. It wasn't completely full, but like it was reasonably full. So we're looking at potentially like nearing 100 quid's worth of Legos. And we were just both trying to just surreptitiously see what was going on as we passed without like stopping and gawping at this lady, because that would be weird. But real talk, friends, I think she bought the whole case worth of Legos. And I have so many questions. Like, it's a time-honored tradition as a child, like, scamming a well-meaning, grown-up but non-parental relative into buying you something stupid because they love you and they want to give you things that you will enjoy. But I'm just like, oh, lady, if you are spending £70 on these stupid Lego Formula 1 cars, there will be repeats in this box. That child is going to get more than one of the same thing. You could conceivably buy, like, an actual Lego set, like, multiple actual Lego sets, potentially, for that amount of money, that will have way more fun and interest and playability than just, like, 3 of the same Lego car. Wild. Genuinely one of the most sort of buck wild supermarket experiences I have seen in some time. And it was, oh, little boy. I think most of the time the things I managed to convince relatives to buy me were like snacks. It would be like, can I please have this snack? And then one time a sweater vest. But I think that I think that was instigated by my auntie. I think I was visiting her house for a few days, and I think she wanted to buy me something nice for back to school, which is very sweet. And I picked out a gray sweater vest because I'm cool like that. I don't know. It's probably trendy in the 90s. Listen. That said, I'm looking at getting myself a sweater vest sometime soon. Not that I can afford anything, because no, I'm not looking at getting myself in anything. I keep forgetting that I have a massive dental bill coming up. It was supposed to be last week, but they deleted my appointment, and so I still have a bad tooth right now. Anyways, if you want to help support me, I have a shop, just so you know. But I won't belabor that. But if you think my art looks neat, and you want to throw me a tiny amount of money, that's probably the best place to do it, because you get stuff in return. And I feel really bad when people give me money for what feels like nothing in return. So if I can give you things in return, that feels great. Anyways. But anywho, what's everyone been up to this week? Did you do anything cool? Did you go anywhere cool? Did your rugby team have a big tournament? Did your choir learn a new song? Did you finish your writing your magnum opus? I'd love to hear about it. Anywho. I'm so close to being done the red stuff. That's so exciting, but also means I have to figure out what to do with the rest of it. Oh no. Well, the red stuff notwithstanding Hornet's poncho, which obviously is also red. But the terrifying background stuff, I'm so close to being done. I might actually get it finished on stream. Hooray. Will I finish this artwork today? Undoubtedly not. No. Most certainly we won't, but, you know, hey. Paint water probably not drinkable now. Unfortunately, the paint has been dipped in here. It's hard to see, but there are some plumes of watercolor, so, I'm sorry, Q2s. I'm sipping the last of my coffee. But I don't think that was an adequate hydrate, y'all. So I'm also going to sip my tea, which has been waiting for me over here. And it is lime and mint green tea. Hands down one of the most comforting flavors. So good. So good. I love it. I love it. Anyways, we will be coasting into a break fairly shortly, but I'm going to try and get just a tiny bit more productivity done before we do. If no one objects to me attempting to actually be a little bit productive on stream. I know, an art stream where painting happens, perish the thought, but hear me out, chat. What if I actually painted something? Whoa. Unthinkable, I know, but like, just imagine how cool that would be. If I actually painted. Get more hydration, you silly goose. I love hydration. I will be collecting a cup of tea from the other room that's been steeping in there for a while as well, whilst on break. So there will be that also. I'm trying to very hastily get this done without wrecking it, because I want to stop painting when we go to BRB screen, because I don't want anyone to miss anything if they get dumped into ads. But also I'm trying to work in like sections so there aren't too many obvious seams between when I stop painting and start again. And I feel like that's probably a fairly safe place to leave it for the moment, because I don't trust myself to finish this entire fiddly bit in 30 seconds or less. So gonna leave that for whence we returneth in just a couple minutes. And thank you for hanging out in the meantime. I hope that you're having a fun time so far. This stream has been thoroughly unhinged, and I hope that's okay. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. You're not going to miss anything, because it's just going to be on the BRB screen, and I am going to be getting my other cup of tea, so I will see you very shortly on the flip side. BRB in the meantime. I'll see you shortly, BRB. Okay, I'm back. Hi, everybody. Did you miss me? I hope not too much. I'm here now. Hello. Hope you had a nice... Your streamer was gone BRB break, enjoying the song. I don't know. Anyways. I now have 2 teas that look incredibly similar, and I don't know if I'll remember which one is which. This one is lime and mint with green tea, and this one is pineapple and turmeric. Very different vibes. They look exactly the same. Oh my god, that's so good. This is steeped for like an hour, and yet it is perfectly delicious. Probably because there's no, like, tea plant tea in it, so there's nothing to get, like, bitter. It's just really... It's fruity, but then it's also spicy, but, like, in the way that, that turmeric is spicy, which isn't like a bite. It's just kind of earthy, in a very pleasant way that pairs very well with, like... pineapple for some reason. I don't know, but it's really good. Okay, so let's attempt as best as we can to finish off this corner. I am so scared. I mean, okay, this is gonna surprise you, I'm sure, but I have been so scared this whole time because painting this is so fiddly. And I think it has the potential to look really nice. So if I fall down at any hurdle and, like, horribly F it up, I'm gonna feel super sad about that. I would love for that to not happen. I'm gonna actually, I think, go upside down for this. Because I think it'll be slightly easier for some reason. Anywho. I'm actually kind of glad that this painting is taking me so long because I don't have any sketch lined up to paint on stream after it's done. So if we finished this today, I'd either have to end early or you'd have to watch me paint Star Trek fan art. Which I'm sure some people wouldn't mind. But, I don't think most people are strictly here for. Anyways. It sounds tasty, says Tals. It's super tasty. It's so nice. It's so nice. But anyways. Oh yeah, so I will be continuing with my Skong playthrough on stream tomorrow morning. So if that's something you might be interested in seeing and you're around, I'd love to see you there. I'm looking forward to getting to continue my exploration. I will say I did a little bit of off-stream play of the game because I have an off-stream save and I can, and oh boy, there are some bits I missed from the parts of the game we've already been around that I did not find while streaming it. So, guess I'll be going back and doing, looking for them again. Do I remember where they are precisely? No. Did I just get a blob of paint where I didn't want it to be? Yes. So I'm gonna wet this down and see if I can just get rid of it as best as I can. Also, yes. Oh, jeez. What a ding-dong. What an absolute little ding-dong. But the good news is that sometimes, with good old watercolors, if you get it straight away, it doesn't stain too much, and I feel like I can get away with that. It's not going to be super obvious when it's done. And you will see why when it's done. I hope, anyways. I didn't get any red on any of the bits that are meant to be like swirls. I think that's the most important thing at this point, is that we maintain the integrity of the swirlies. I really want to look cool and reminiscent of the aesthetic that we're trying to recreate here. which is not going to be 100% because the paint is different and I'm different. Hello, Ernesto. Welcome in and happy Thursday to you too. I hope you are well. I hope you have had a good week so far. And it's wonderful to see you. Hello. I am so close to being done the red stuff. And then I guess the next step is figuring out what to be honest, I will probably just de-masking fluid Hornet here and paint in her little poncho. That seems like a good time. Anyways, not to spoilers Silksong, because I wouldn't dare, because we're not doing that in the stream. I'm only like on stream. I think I'm about two hours in, and whether that correlates to a normal person playthrough's 2 hours into the game, I don't think so. So we're really not that far into the game at all on stream at this point. But friends, when I tell you just the sheer number of friend-shaped characters we have encountered in this game already, and we've barely scratched the surface, is so nice. So nice. I'm really having a lovely time with it, which is good, because otherwise this artwork would feel extremely awkward if I was just like, oh, you know, this gameplay isn't what I expected, and I don't enjoy it as much as Hollow Knight, it turns out, which was always a very real possibility. But thankfully has turned out not to be the case. I find the gameplay incredibly satisfying. It feels good. The visuals are good. The scenery is lovely. The sound design is something that I very much appreciate. Good sound design in games. Just little details, you know, like if you're walking across different surfaces and you notice that like the sound of your footsteps on one surface versus a different surface changes. Oh, so satisfying. Or like, let's say if you strike a bit of greenery with your sword versus if you strike like a metal door with your sword, one of them makes sort of a whooshing sound and the other one makes a cling clang sound. Yes, that is good sound design. Hell yeah, I love to see it. Love the different footsteps this tells. It's so good, isn't it? It's just, it feels so, when you step onto a different surface and it's like, oh, you go from going sort of like plap, 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 plap to like doot, 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 doot. It's just like, it just makes me, it just feels so good. It's so satisfying. It's such a nice, well-considered sensory experience when that happens. And that has happened in this game. And so I'm very pleased to report that. Because that is indeed a very special aspect of game design to me. I don't know if it's everyone's focus, but I'm always glad to see that it's been kind of taken into consideration, as it has in this case, which is nice. Okie dokie. So close to being done. Ah! Oh no. Oh heck. Oh heck, heck, heck. Okay. Yay! Yay! We're done! One element! Oh my god, that took so long! This was the cumulative work of like 2.5 streams. Good lord. Oh, and clap, says Tals. Thank you for the claps. My shoulder legit hurts now. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that bodes great for the rest of the stream. Oh, geez. Okay. I'm not resting on my laurels, but I do want to let this last section of it dry before I futz with anything else. But if you want to get a look at some of these fancy little details we've got in here, I think certainly at the moment the red is really making them pop because it's just white on red. This will change, obviously. Please look at the tick. Focus. Look at the tick. Look at them. They're so tiddle. My moderator / spouse is home. That's perfect drying time. Okay, I'll be back in a second. I need to go greet. I'm going to go greet my beloved. One moment, please, chat. Darling. Well, listen, maybe next time we need to order groceries online, you can check in Tesco website.
Let's do that. Last time I looked at it.
Okay, well, Tesco website then.
Yum, 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 yum.
Love and romance. We're so gross. Okay, love you. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. Tals in chat says hello, sweetie.
Hello.
He says hello. Anywho, my moderator / spouse is home. He's fine. I'm gonna take a sip of one of my teas. I will take a sip of this tea. Anywho. What the nuts did I do to my shoulder? Oh my goodness gracious. That is not fun. Okay, here we go. It's time to peel. I have noticed this masking fluid is no longer, like, I can't just get like a continuous peel out of it. This is really annoying because it's so satisfying when you can just go like and away goes the masking fluid. It won't do it for me. Possibly not unless I put on a layer so thick that it like might potentially tear the paper underneath, and I would really rather the paper did not tear. I have had situations before where I was removing masking fluid and I had to be very careful because I could see that it was tearing. I don't want it to tear the paper. So, because I absolutely love this stupid little gremlin. Oh my god, look at her, she's perfect. Oh, look at her, she's perfect. I love her so much. Okay, so I am going to just go in, I guess, with a nice, maybe slightly more transparent layer of red, because I'll probably want to put a little bit of sort of texture and shading onto it. Making very sure not to paint over her face, which does not want to be red. Oh, hell yeah, that looks great. Okay, cool. Very mindful. Very mindful. Sometimes when I get real quiet when I'm painting, it's because I'm terrified that I am going to goof and paint the wrong thing. And we would not like to see that, I think. Or maybe some people would. Like, oh, painting stream fail compilation. But that's not really the vibe I'm going for here, okay? It's not really our vibe. At least it's trying not to be. Anyways. I mean, it might be by mistake. I don't know. But, my vibe is to try and paint things that I think look nice. And hope for the best. Anywhoosins, in other news, I have a piece of music from Silksong stuck in my head, and I can't sing it to you because I'm afraid if I sing it to you, it'll be a spoiler. So you'll just have to imagine it. We'll probably encounter it on tomorrow's stream. I have no doubt, because I'm sure we'll pass through the area where it happens. But wow, Hornet's poncho took so much less time than all of this stuff. Oh my goodness. And now there's going to be so much, I think, red paint just hanging out in this. The paint water is turning into pink lemonade because there's so much red paint in this brush. And I would really like for it to not be red now, if at all possible. So if you could please stop being red, that would be super cool. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Okay, I think that's more or less cleaned it out. I'm gonna take a piece of tissue and just kind of give it a little blot. But I think we should be okay. Last stream when I cleaned out my paintbrush afterwards, it was just, there was so much red paint in it that was just still there. Oh, it's all over the ferrule as well. Jeez, look at that. Heck. Get out! Out! Out, red paint, out! Okay, I'm actually going to use a little bit of brush cleaner. I usually save this for, you know, when I've finished streaming, but I am going to take a little bit of my brush cleaner and just, because it's quite good at sort of getting in there and getting more paint out of your brush. It also helps keep maintain, like, if it's a pointed brush, it helps to maintain its point. Helps keep it from falling apart quite so quickly. Not sponsored, but I legit love this stuff. It's great. I'm sure there are other brands doing, like, the same thing, but this is the one that we buy, and it also smells kind of nice, so, you know. I think it's mostly just some kind of soap. Don't actually know what it's made of. I feel like I should know that. It does not say, so I don't know what it's made of. But it feels like soap, and it smells kind of soapy, so it's probably some kind of soap. Anyways, I would not use it to wash my person, regardless. Also, it's more expensive than regular soap, so hopefully, it's not just regular soap. I don't think it is, but it is soap adjacent, certainly. Gumby says, "Ooh, Hornet in this style, I love it, thank you." Here she is. She says, and I quote, "Focus. Sha!" Okay, moving on. Oh yeah, also, for anyone who hasn't seen, we do have stupid new emotes, that I made to celebrate the occasion. If I can get the doodad to load, I can show you them. I just noticed the faces, Gumby. I hope you like it. I made it myself. This wasn't my original plan for this piece, but you know, sometimes things just have a way of coming together, and looking like this, I guess. Anyways, we have one static emote and one animated emote of, Hornet and Hornet's little adventures. Where's the animated? Let me load the thing. Okay, there it is. Perfection comes unannounced, says Gumby. Ah, beans. Ah, cheese pizza. Thank you. I appreciate it. But anyways, yeah, we have just a little ooh Hornet face, and also Hornet floating Mary Poppins style across the screen. So if you can see chat, you can see those, and I hope you like them. Anyways, so what I want to do next, I think, is paint in the bits that I want to be green. Because I want some of these bits to be green. Namely, there's a bit of greenery down here I want to be green, and I'm also going to do the, like, branches of the delicate flowers in green, just because the whole delicate flower is, like, white and gray, but I don't think that's going to work with the overall aesthetic of this. So I feel like green would look better. Hornet definitely has Mary Poppins energy. Hell yeah. Okay. I'm gonna dip a little bit of paint water into this green paint. And then I'm gonna realize that actually, I think for this even tinier detail, I'm gonna want to change brushes. So we're gonna set this brush to one side. I'm gonna, oh, where's my tissue? I'm gonna wipe it off again. Give it a little clean down. A provisional clean down. I always fully clean my brushes after stream to make sure that they are in the best condition I can maintain. We're going to take this bad boy, which is even smaller. This is a tittle teensy ickle brushy. And I'm going to go in with just, I think this like straight ahead, this green. Anyways. I mean, in Hornet's defense, Mary Poppins sings many songs in that film, and the name of Hornet's game is Silksong, so correct. Hello, Aoife, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you, and welcome on in. Hello, hello. I hope you are having the loveliest of lovely Thursdays. And hello. I am very carefully and with a tiny, possibly too tiny, ickle brush going to start adding colors to this piece. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I am scared. Genuinely a terrifying moment for me, this. Or no, I'm doing great. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm having a fun time working on this and hanging out with y'all. Looking forward to whichever meal I'm having for tonight's tea. And I'm going to be real with you. I don't remember which one I'm supposed to be making tonight. I'll have to ask my moderator / spouse. Are we having fish and chips? Or are we having gnocchi with tomato sauce and vegetables? I don't recall. I just had dinner, says Aoife. I hope it was delicious. I hope it was delicious. I'm looking forward to dinner. I can't remember what did I have for lunch? Oh yeah, I just kind of had a sandwich. I have some, it was a variety of cheese I've never seen before called Silver Fox, and it was this very, very mature smoked cheese. And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds fit as heck. And so I had some of that on some crusty GF bread, and, some vegetables with that as well. It was nice. It was nice. Babe,
Yeah.
what are we having for dinner tonight?
Dunno.
Do you want gnocchi or fish and chips?
It's okay. Either.
Fish and chips it is. It's slightly easier for me because I can just throw it all in the air fryer. Anyways, I had rice and, ooh, dal. I love dal. That sounds so good. Spicy green pepper, cilantro, and yogurt. That sounds delightful. What's that, babe? Okay, then I'll do it in the oven. Yeah, it won't all fit in the air fryer. He's right. Whew. I do love our air fryer, but it does have limitations. If you want to cook too many things at once, it is not big enough. But for most of the things that we want to oven, the air fryer is exactly the right size. I like to think that by now it's paid for itself in, like, electricity bill stuff, considering it uses up so much less electricity. It doesn't have to run for as long as the oven. That green looks so dark on camera. It's not that dark. It looks so dark compared to the red on camera, and it's very not. That's wild. That's one of the things I love about the camera is so confused sometimes when it comes to colors. The old camera was exactly the same, so it's not just a this camera thing. It's like any camera. It's just like, oh, I don't know what color this is. Some confusion. Which is very funny. Lightly annoying. But mostly funny. Sometimes a little frustrating when I'm trying to demonstrate to you, like, look at this color. And I'm like, why does this color look blue? It's green, etc., etc. Hi, babe. You're looking at... Did you try the cheese?
Fucking lovely.
It is lovely. I know. It's dangerous. It's danger cheese because it's really good. But yes, my mod slash spouse approves of the silver fox cheese. So watch them like never have it at the store ever again. It's strength 6, which is a preferred cheese strength in this house. Though I don't like the cheese strength scale. I don't think is that it's like calling something light versus medium versus dark roast. I don't think there's there isn't like an industry. Is there an okay? Actually, I'm gonna ask this. Is there an industry standard for cheese strengths? In terms of how this is assessed, like this is a strength 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there an industry standard, or is it kind of up to the individual supermarket or manufacturer to determine whether they feel this cheese is a strength 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc.? I have no idea, and I would really, really love to know. Okay, we have a little bit of... I have no idea. I would wager not, though, says Tells. Yeah, it feels like something where I feel like there should be, but for sure there isn't. The camera is casting a shadow, which is very frustrating to me, because it's, like, right on top of the artwork. I have no way of getting rid of this that I have found. It's just there. But if I kind of bring the art over here, I think we can kind of see around it. Just, ta-da! There's greenery. I think it looks nice. I'm going to keep on keeping on. I've never even heard of cheese being rated like that, says Aoife. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it seems to be, it's a fairly common thing I've noticed, at least in, not necessarily in every, like, cheesemonger, like, cheese shop, but certainly in supermarkets here, I see it happening, where, they will have sort of a scale of, like, 1 is, you know, like, a very mild, soft cheese, like a ricotta or something, and then going up to, you know, the, like, this is aged for 36 months, and it's, you know, it's got a lot of flavor to it, sort of strength, like, 7 kind of thing. They use it partially, I think, because there are so many different grades of cheddar you can buy here. It's very useful. There's so many grades of cheddar that you can buy here. So it's nice having a shorthand for how strong is this cheddar going to be at a glance, I think. Obviously they also have, you know, just like mild, medium, mature, extra mature. But then sometimes you'll get cheeses that are labeled like extra mature, and then you have them and you're like, this tastes very gentle. There's not a lot happening here. I'm confused. It usually says words like mild or strong on the package, but I never see it expressed in numbers, or sure, the age, says Aoife. Yeah, I'm trying to think back to, like, I don't think we had, like, a numbering system in Canada either. I do remember my grandmother's favorite cheese was, she liked an old cheddar, something that had a little bit of a bite to it, but there was this one that she bought that was, because Canada is a bilingual nation, you will see things that are labeled in English and then also in French. And so the old cheese was labeled with old, obviously, but also fort in French, meaning strong cheese. My grandmother did not learn French in school, so she just called it old fort cheese, like it was cheese that came from an old fort. And I loved that. My grandma was great, and she loved her old fort cheese. And can confirm old fort cheese is delicious. Anywho. There we go. Nearly there. Tra-da-da. Okay. I wanted to make sure it looked like these two bits of greenery were kind of twisting around each other and not like the same piece, sort of weirdly. And I think I managed to do that because they are slightly different, like, values of green. Hopefully it looks cute when it's done. Grand people are awesome, says Aoife. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, they are. My grandma was great. She would take me out on little excursions with her to Zellers, which was like the inexpensive department store in Canada for a long time. We bought a lot of things at Zellers. She would go to Zellers to buy, like a new pair of her favorite, like, black, shiny, high-heeled shoes. Which she really struggled to find in her own size because she had teeny tiny feet. She was a teeny tiny lady with teeny tiny little tootsies. And she always wanted to dress up nicely when she went out, so she had these like shiny black pumps that she would wear with her little pencil skirt and a blouse to go out to shop, which is very anachronistic at the time because people are going to Zellers in like sweatshirts and stuff, and there's my grandma dressed to the nines, looking fancy as heck. I think part of it is that she grew up in like a fairly poor household. She came of age through like the Great Depression and stuff, and she, I think, had a bit of she didn't want people looking down on her because of like, she didn't want to seem poor, I suppose. And so she always wanted to like look nice and stuff when we went out, even if we were just going to Zellers to pick up bits. And we would go to Zellers restaurant with our little shopping haul, and I'd get fries and gravy and a milkshake, and she'd get, I don't know, like the hot hamburger meal or whatever old people like to eat. It was a great time. She was a fun person to spend quality time with. Anywho, let me catch up with chat. Aoife says, my great-grandma on my dad's mother's side was my favorite relative. No nonsense. Didn't go to church. Caused nonsense. Didn't go to doctors because nonsense. Made her own selves and stuff. That's rad as heck. She had 2 drinks for us kids to choose from. Coke or eggnog. Oh my gosh. I love her. I love her so much. And she always said we shouldn't drink too much Coke or we'll become as stupid as her. Aoife, I love her. I love her so much, and I love this for you. That's incredible. That's so lovely. What a wonderful person. Oh, bless. Anyways, I'm moving this little Lego display that lives in my studio over a little bit just so my painting can be here rather than here. So slightly less under the shadow of the camera, I hope. But yeah, that's really sweet. Okay, so I think that's the bits that want to be green. I haven't decided what color the S in Shaw is going to be. It's going to be either green or blue, but I think it depends on what the rest of the everything else looks like before I get to that. So I want to do these bits with the come on, words. Come on, brain. Come on, words. Come on, brain. Limited edition blue raspberry fight milk flowers. That was it. You knew I was going to get there. It was just going to take me a minute, apparently. Now, for the color of that, this is kind of already a teal color, but it's kind of a muted teal, so I wondered what would happen if I just actually combined this blue and this green together and whether or not that would work. Color theory. If I just slightly green this blue, which is a very clear blue, we might be in business. So I'm gonna try and do that on the palette here and see what we end up with. And if it looks like absolute boo-boo garbage, we can abandon that and just use the teal color that I've already got. But we shall see what I wind up with. So I'm gonna bring this in a little bit so you can see that I am trying to pick up some paint and then just stick it on my trusty little ricotta lid. I'm gonna add a little green to it and see how that looks. Ooh. Still not quite green enough. Oh no, that's too green. Needs more blue. This also needs to be fairly light because it's a fairly light wash we want from this, I think. Okay, I think that's a pretty good base color. Just keep wetting it down until it's nice and luminescent. How's that looking? Yeah, I think this will do. Okay, awesome. Yay, we got it. Hooray. Cool. Hopefully it's fine. It looks nothing like it looks in real life on camera. It looks so much darker on camera. There's something about this green that's just like, I'm gonna be dark as the depths of hell. Okay, little buddy. Sure, go off, I guess. What the heck? Alright, that's pretty well watered down, I think. So, I need my tittle tiny brush for this. I'm gonna move this whole paint palette out of the way. And I think I'm just gonna try with a tiny bit of this. See how it looks. I don't think that's bright enough. I think I watered it down too much. Oh no. Either that or I could just layer it potentially as well. Like I could just I could start by putting some paint down, and then if I feel like it needs more, I can always add layers. So actually, I probably just panicked about nothing. Anywho, okay, all right. I'm gonna go from there, and hopefully this will be. Oh, actually, that's better. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay, awesome, cool. There's gonna want to be some kind of like line weight or something on these anyways, otherwise they won't stand out, I think, and look as clean as I would like them to. So I will end up having to get some line weight on this, I think. At the very least, so you can't see the pencils quite so much. That would probably be for the best. But I think, yeah, that's a good Fight Milk color, I think, for the limited edition Blue Raspberry Fight Milk. Happy with that. Hell yeah. Okay. I really love this paint palette set. I think it's so lovely. This is the 1940 set from Choosing Keeping. It's mostly kind of straight ahead rainbow. Like somewhat straight ahead rainbow colors, but then it's just got like some wild cards in here, which I appreciate. You know, we've got our red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, but purple's a little bit funky, and then we've also got this teal and this like indigo color. So yeah, this is a fun set. This is the perfect blue raz color. Oh, I'm so happy. I was worried I was gonna F it up, and that this wouldn't be recognizably the little like lifeblood vines. But I think it's pretty recognizable in this form. I'll bring it in so you can see a little bit better. Focus on my plaster, thank you. Yeah, I think that works really well. Okay, cool. And the other one is up in this corner, so I'm gonna go. I think maybe just, do I want to go sideways or upside down? I think I'll go sideways. I think you can see better if I go sideways as well, so I'll go sideways. Anyways, if you are someone who's a fan of this family of games, have you been playing it? Have you played any of it yet? Have you finished it? No spoilers. But how are you finding it? If you are playing it, are you enjoying it? I hope so. I'm having a lovely time with it. I will say I'm super bad at it, but that's because it's new. It's new to me, and I've sunk hundreds of hours into Hollow Knight. And I was not expecting myself to have the same skill level in a new game. And indeed, I don't. And I feel fine with that. I feel good about it. Tell says, I'm silking right now. Hell yeah, silk that song. Love that for you. Don't know what that means. But I love it. Anyways. Excellent hydration, good tea. I like it, but I think I am even worse at the platforming than Hollow Knight. I genuinely think that a lot of that is probably also just down to the fact that it's new to you. You've likely played way more Hollow Knight than you have this game. So it's gonna take some getting used to. As you well know, I think, if you are a frequenter of this channel, I love a platforming situation, but good lord. There are some platforming games that I'm worse at than others. Like, I loved the game Celeste, but I think the thing about the game Celeste for me is that, actually, I love it, but at this stage in my life, I can't play more than, like, a continuous hour of it without getting, like, intense hand cramps. So I've said a few times on stream that at some point I really want to go back and play the DLC of that game on stream. But I'm gonna have to play it in like 1 hour sessions and then play something else for the rest of stream because it just hurts my hands so bad. I'm gonna have to do that and then be like, okay, we're gonna play Mini Metro for 2 hours. Which is also a super fun game, so like no complaints from me, but possible complaints from chat if you see me just doing a horrible job at planning Metro maps. Mini Metro is so fun. I love it so much. Anywho, okay. We're making our way towards some of the more... I have to think really hard about how I'm going to do this bits of the painting, namely these like swoops and swirls, because I want these swoops and swirls to be a combination of this blue, sorry for hitting the mic with my paintbrush. This blue, which when it's painted looks like this, and also gold, which looks like probably one of these three of the set. I think these golds are really beautiful, but I think these golds give the impression better of like an illumination with gold on a painting. You know what I mean? I'm tempted to knock out the blue gold as well because I think it's not quite the vibe. Either red gold or yellow gold. Probably yellow gold, I think. But red gold, it slaps also. I might do a test on like a second piece of paper just to see how these sit because my experience with metallic paints like these and anything that's got like sparkle in it is that it pops so much better if it's sitting underneath a color rather than sitting underneath like a white background. Just because I think that the transparency of the pigment, you will see like the white behind it and between it. And so to diminish that effect, I find it's much more effective to put the gold on top of, say, like, you know, like this, or maybe probably a combination of this yellow and orange in some way, shape, or form, possibly using both in certain places to give it a little bit of a sense of like depth. Is what I want to do, but I need to figure out which bits of these swoopy swirlies want to be blue and which bits of the swoopy swirlies want to be gold, and that's really hard and confusing for my stupid little brain. So I've been trying to put off having to think about it. Oh no. But that being said, I was going to do like the border around this like section of the painting in that, like specifically the border around this little Hornet section in gold as well. So I might do that first so I don't have to think about, or at least I'm not going to use the gold paint. The gold paint is the last thing to go on the piece basically, because once you dip your paint brush into paint water that has had gold paint in it, it will put sparkles on any other paint that you use with that paint water. And I do not want gold sparkles in the parts of the painting that are not painted gold. Thank you. Anyways, so that is a mild, extremely mild concern as well. But What I will do in the meantime is I think maybe do I want to just make kind of an orange / yellow color for these bordery bits. I think that's what I'll do. At least for these areas. For the like swoopy swirly bits. I think what I want to do is to actually use like some yellow and then also some orange. So they're kind of gradienting into each other, as it were. To kind of get some different effects of the gold. But I think for now this will do as my gold background for little bits like this backgroundy area. So let's do that. Okay. Scary. Actually, can I water this down a smidge? Can I make it a little bit less super concentrated? Yes. This will give us sort of the germ of an idea of what it's going to look like when it's been painted in gold as well, which I think is good. And I think I probably will use the yellow gold. I think it's a nice bright gold. If bright is a thing that gold can be, I think it's a nice bright gold, which I think will work really well for us for the piece. So hooray! Okay. All right, and this is a nice gold shade that we've got going on here, I think. So yay for that as well. Okay. And of course, doing this segment is terrifying. Is everything a perfectly straight line? Is everything a perfectly even border? No. Is that fine? I guess. Will that do? It will now. Yeah. Okay, actually bring this like kind of like so. Like so. Struggles. There, okay, that'll do. That'll do. Again, this is going to be painted over with gold paint anyway, so if it's a little bit imperfect, it doesn't matter because it's going to be sparkly at the end, and that's the important thing. Hell yeah. Anyways, oh, the other thing that I've been doing in the last couple of days is that I saw a question pop up on one of my social media that was like, name the first musical artist or band that springs to mind when you cast yourself back to when you were 13 years old. And I don't know if this is a weird answer, but the band that I thought of was Tool. When I thought about what was something that was like my musical choice, that was something I was listening to when I was a little 13-year-old, and the answer is the progressive metal band Tool. Make of that what you will in terms of your assessment of who I am as a person. I don't know if you'll be able to draw any useful conclusions from that. But that was literally my first thought. I don't think you could even guess my age from that, because they're not necessarily of a particular era. Though I guess you could maybe put me in the 90s. Because probably the people who are listening to Tool these days are like middle-aged people who were listening to them in the 90s. Anyways. Like me. An earnest little 13-year-old who probably didn't realize what most of those songs were about. And went back and re-listened to some of them now and was like, oh my. Is that what that was about? Jeez. Okay. I'm not gonna say what they were about on stream because I don't want to talk about it because I'm scarred for life. Anywho, yay, I've added some gold backgroundy area. Hooray. At least 13, says Tals. Anywho. I mean, if you were to ask me what, like, band, artist, or piece of music I most associate with, let's say, being, like, 15, if I were to just move forward by a couple of years, 15 or 16, I think, my answer would be specifically this one record album, which is a solo album by Rick Wakeman, that is a concept album about the 6 wives of Henry VIII, which rewired my brain and I think cemented my special interest for quite some time. So thank you, Rick Wakeman, for inadvertently awakening my special interest in dress history, weirdly. And also, yeah, I'm not one of those, I feel like it becomes less of a thing as you get older, but some people still, like, really cling to that kind of thing as being like, this is the genre of music that I listen to, and I have defined my personality and overall aesthetic and lifestyle around this specific genre of music that I like listening to. I feel like that was definitely a thing when I was a youngin', when I was a teen, that kind of thing, and I feel like it's kind of falls out of, like, human usage after a certain age for most people. Not everyone, but for most people. But it's like, if I go back and think, like, what was my genre? What was the defining genre for me? I wanted it to be, like, goth stuff, because I liked the goth aesthetic when I was a younger person, and I still do. I still think it's fun. And, like, a lot of sort of music that, even if the artists themselves don't necessarily claim that label, that, like, are really popular with, like, goths back in the day, like Dead Can Dance and that kind of thing. And even, I don't know, Swans? I don't know. Anyways. But if I have, like, a defining musical genre that has carried me through, like, most of my life, it's prog rock. I don't know if that's obvious. Anyways. We just had a follow. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in to Zelda Medley. Welcome. It's lovely to see you, and hello. Hope you're having a lovely day. Anyways, we are going to be going into ads fairly shortly, but not yet. I was wondering whether I wanted to leave the, like, outer border of this painting white or paint it gold. And I also don't know, where the hell am I going to sign this thing? I didn't leave anywhere for me to sign. I think I'm just going to have to sign, like, directly under Shaw, because there's nowhere else I can sign this freaking thing. Either that or, like, right along the border and just have it be super tiny. I literally didn't think about where I'm going to sign this thing until just now. Oh my god, I'm an idiot, y'all. There's no place to sign it. Oh no. Heck. Why would I do that? Shoot. Okay, well, that's fun, I guess. Anyways, it's fine. It is what it is. Anywho. I'm gonna pull up some examples of, like, medieval manuscript artwork. So I can try and figure out which bits of the swoopy swirls I want to be gold and which bits I want to be blue. Like, taking this kind of thing for inspiration. I think that'll be helpful in trying to not copy directly, but just at least draw inspiration from. This is a very common swirly motifs in pieces. This one has surprise birds hanging out in it, which I love. Anyways, hello Talish, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome. I hope you're having the loveliest of lovely Thursdays. I hope you had a good week so far. I'm about to I'm about to hop into a BRB, so I will be back in just a couple minutes. You won't miss anything, because we're just going to be looking at the BRB screen and listening to the BRB song. I feel like I should do a new BRB screen soon, because we've had this one for like 4 years, and woof. Oh boy. Anyways, yeah, I'll be back very shortly. I am nice and quiet because kids are in school, says Tullish. Hell yeah, love that for you. It's lovely to see you as well. I will be back very shortly. I do apologize. Enjoy the BRB screen in the meantime, and I will BRB. Hi, back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking around and hanging out. I appreciate it. Hello. Okay, so the next thing that needs to be gold background for sure is the bit behind the letter S for Shaw. So I'm going to take some more of this this funky background color and try and fill it in as best as I can. I'm kind of wishing I'd used the larger brush for this, because this is a slightly larger area to paint in. Oops! Never mind. It's fine. This shouldn't take too long. I'm also wondering if I want to, if I want the background color to actually be a little bit brighter. Like, make it pop more. Because I'm using a fairly light wash here. I don't know. I'm just not sure. It's hard to say. I mean, we're not going to get around to doing the gold paint today anyways. That's probably going to be, going to have to be reserved for the next stream. Because I'm going to have to call it, not soon, but like soon-ish to go make din-dins. So, in the meantimes, I can at least keep on keeping on with this. And then decide what we want to do with that. Also, I feel like I'm running out of this paint. More. Okay. All right, and okay. There we go. Okay, now that I've had to add extra paint to it, now I feel like it's kind of, it doesn't perfectly match itself, which is a little weird. So I think I'm going to go over the whole thing with a second coat to try and even it out, actually. I think that's probably the best way to do it. I hope, anyways. As usual, I am fully running on vibes, flying by the seat of my pants, and having absolutely not the foggiest idea what the heck it is I'm doing here. I'm trying my best, but I'm fully aware that it's, my best is not always the greatest, okay? It's fine. It's fine, don't worry about it, it's fine. But, for real. I am trying my best. But also, this is Baby's first, medieval-style, illuminated, manuscript-style art piece. And to that end, I really am just kind of fluffing around and finding out, because this is a very new genre for me, I guess, of artwork. The medium is not new, obviously. I've used these paints many a time, but using them in this way for this style and this purpose is new and scary. If you're familiar with my past works, you will know most of them don't look like this. Here's a link to my shop. You can see some of my art there. It's usually, largely, I think, the things that I'm the most proud of go into the shop. Though not always. Because sometimes I'm proud of something, but I'm like, well, no one's going to buy this. And then sometimes I think, wow, lots of people are going to want to buy this, and then they don't. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, your support helps pay the bills, including my very large dental bill this month. Hooray. So, thank you for that. Also, I dropped a whole bunch of new stuff in there last week, including a whole bunch of limited edition Blue Raspberry Fight Milk Hollow Knight art prints, including pieces featuring this absolute beauty, aka as Hornet McSilksong, which is her full name. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know which bits of this I want to also be gold. It needs more gold than this, for sure. But in terms of how I want to color in the other bits, I just don't know. I just don't know, y'all. This is a difficult question, and I don't know how to solve for it. Also, there was a little bit of, like, lingering blue or green or something in this yellow pan, because at some point I used it to paint something. I used it to mix into blue or green to make it whatever color I wanted, a little bit more yellow. And I feel like it was kind of polluting the source material a smidge, so I've just blotted that fully out of there. Because the yellow supposedly looks like that, which is a much brighter yellow color, so I'm hoping that it comes back to me now. We'll see. We'll see how we get on with that. Anyways, scooch the painting out of the way so I can do some strategic pre-wetting of both the yellow and the orange, because I want to use kind of a combo of the two. But not necessarily just fully blended together into one color, but kind of in concert, like going back and forth between the two, to try and give some interesting, I hope, dimension, to the gold bits of the swoopy swirlies, which might be the last thing that we work on today. Anywho, hope that that's okay. Hope you are all having a nice time. I'm going to take a sip of this tea. Which it remains mint and lime and green tea. And it's super delicious. Hydration's important. If you haven't had anything to drink for a while, you should have something to drink. You'll feel better. I know the older I get, the more I notice this. I'm just like, I'm cranky and tired and sad, and I don't know why. Something's like, my body just feels run down, and I feel sick, and I don't know what's happening, and I'm just like, wait. How much fluid have I had to drink today? When's the last time I had some, like, water or tea or oat milk even? And then I will just, like, sip a beverage. And I'm like, oh, well, that's what was wrong. Oh, no. The frequency with which this occurs is embarrassing. Do you feel like crap? Have you had any like beverages to drink today? Consider having a beverage. Did someone say goat milk? I said oat milk, but goat milk would also work. But I would never choose goat milk because whilst I think it is available at my supermarket, it is more expensive and therefore too bougie for this starving artist. Also, the only time I've ever had goat milk outside of the context of cheese, and I do love a good goat's cheese. The only time that I've had goat's milk outside of the context of cheese was when I was visiting some friends while they were on a cleanse, and for some reason the only milk that they were allowed to have on this cleanse was goat milk. You know you've made it when you sippy goat milk, I guess, says Q2s. I actually don't know how much goat milk costs. Now it's going to bother me if I don't find out. No one cares. No one cares, Twitch user Sammy Kelch. What the hell are you doing? Why are you looking up how much it costs to buy goat milk in your local supermarket? Is it even... Oh yeah, it's £2.25 for a thing of goat's milk, which is definitely more expensive than, also it just blows out anything that's too white, this thing. Anyways. Potato, hello, welcome in. Twitch suggested your live to me, interested to see why. I honestly don't know. Do you like Hollow Knight Silksong and or medieval manuscripts and or watercolors? That might be any of the potential reasons, I suppose. Because of goat milk, says Q2s, which is apparently £2.25. Also, hi, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you, and welcome on in. I hope you're having a lovely day. Got a notification about it and everything. Did you... Potato, did you at some point follow the channel? If you got a notification, I'm assuming that you're following the channel, in which case, thank you for the follow and welcome on in. If you're confused about the fact that I'm doing art, it might be that you followed during a game stream, because I do game streams on Fridays and every once in a while on a Thursday if I'm feeling extra crispy. But today is an art stream, and so I'm doing an artwork. Anywho. Hello. It's lovely to see you in any case. I'm going to figure out which bits of these gold gubbins I want to add. Some of these swirly flourishes want to be... I'm not following, which is why I'm confused. Baffling. Because it wouldn't give you... I know sometimes you will get a gift sub to a channel that you're not subscribed, that you're not following. But in receiving a gift sub, you don't receive notifications just because you're subbed to a channel if you're not also following them. That's... I'm baffled, friend. But I mean, welcome in regardless. I have no idea. Anyways. I do watch this amazing artist streams. She's awesome. Might be because of that. Is it someone I know, I wonder? Because it might... I mean, again, you shouldn't be getting notifications for my channel if you're not following, but otherwise I can't comment. Anywho. I'm going to keep on keeping on painting in some of these bits that I think I want. I'm going to try and go in like semi-randomly, I think. And just kind of pick out bits that I think might be nice looking gold and hope that my attempts at randomness work. I don't know. Nobody will get to know her when she follows you soon. You're speaking in riddles, Potato. I don't get it. But thank you, I guess. I'm gonna start figuring out which of these bits I want to be gold. This is hard. This is hard because I want it to look nice. I want it to look nice and I want to include enough gold bits, but I don't want all of the bits to be gold. So figuring out where we kind of taper off. I think I'll make this swirly bit be a gold swirly bit. So if I kind of curl down like that, yeah, that works. Okay. This is terrifying. Because I feel like when you're illuminating a manuscript, I feel like the illumination-y bit has to be somewhat of a make or break moment. I want to try and get a nice sort of half and half split between bits that we paint in gold. And for anyone who's come in recently, I realize that I'm just painting this in like a regular matte yellow watercolor. I'm aware of this. We will be going over it with a metallic gold paint. We will be going over it with a metallic gold paint once all of the other colors have gone down, because we do the metallics last for cross-contamination issues. Because once you add a metallic paint to your paint water, that's it. That's it. That's the end. And I think it's been down between these two. Either the red gold or the yellow gold. And I will do a little swatchy test on like a separate piece of paper just before we actually nail it down. But I think the yellow gold feels like the goldiest gold, but the red gold is also really, really rich. And it kind of, I like the vibe of it, so we'll see which one looks best once we sort of sample it onto a base. But that'll probably be next stream, because I am going to be wrapping up fairly soon to go cook my din-dins, which will be chips. Potato says, I told you about it because I was super confused, and also she loves seeing other artists. Of course, I had to suggest you. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the suggestion. Very much I do. That's really rad. Okay. What are some other bits that can be gold? This is so hard. As always, it's one of the things that I have a really, I think I have an interesting time with, are kind of creating, as it were, like the illusion of randomness, where, you know, I'm making very deliberate choices to make something look organic, which is a brain-breaking thing to do. Anytime I do any kind of landscaping, nature-y stuff, that's kind of what I'm having to do, and to manufacture the appearance of randomness is brain-breaking. Anyways, Potato says, I've done my part in this process. Your art is great, and I wish you a great rest of your day. And thank you very much, friend. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day as well. Thank you. But yeah, the manufacture of randomness, because obviously if you pluck 6 random numbers out of 100, there is a very real chance, and it's as good a chance as any other combination numbers, that the random set of numbers you will receive is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know. But that doesn't feel random to our stupid little, like, lizard brains. So no, I have to create the impression, the feeling of randomness, whilst being very purposeful about where I place my different colors, which again is wild. Like what am I doing? I don't know. But I'm having a nice time doing it anyways. So for whatever that's worth. I think that's definitely worth something, and hopefully it'll end up looking kind of good. I guess we'll find out when it's done. Okay. Basically, I want there to be enough gold elements that it feels, you know, opulent and special, but not so much that it feels overburdened and ostentatious. Opulence, not ostentation. Is ostentation a word? Is there like a noun of that? I've never heard anyone noun ostentatious. Ostentatiousness? Which one is it? Oh, jeez, I don't know. Oh, no. I don't know, y'all. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Anyways. I'm taking another sip of my tea. It tastes like turmeric and stuff. Delightful. Anyways. Hopefully these are some perfectly cromulent swirls. I don't know. Anyways. But yeah. Okie dokie. Anywho. I'm gonna do this. This little swoopy is gonna be gold. And I've just been using the yellow so far, because actually I think it looks really nice. But I'm gonna add some like orange low lights to it here and there. But I think just as kind of a just as kind of an addendum, really, as opposed to anything else. Because I think I prefer that, because I think that the yellow actually looks really good. I'm liking the way that the yellow is looking on camera even better than in person, which is, oh no. But yeah, okay. Maybe just this little off branch here can be gold. We'll kind of if I kind of go like okay, if I turn it this way and then I kind of pull it down and then kind of taper out to there. How's that? Yeah, actually, I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, oh god, the other thing that's been plaguing my mind all day. Something has been plaguing my mind for a while. I watched the newest YouTube video from a YouTuber named Willie Muse. He reviews stuff and talks about weird old TV shows and what have you. And he found this, I can't remember the name of it now, this sitcom that apparently sort of blasted into existence and was on air for about a month and then was canceled because it's super bad. But spoilers, I guess, for a TV show that's 25 years old and no one here is ever going to want to watch. It's all on YouTube, apparently, but also it is shockingly bad. It's about a teenage boy, and this teenage boy has, like, moved to a new place, and he's got a crush on his next-door neighbor, who's a teenage girl, but he finds out that she has a boyfriend, and she's like, you seem really cool. I can't wait for you to meet my boyfriend. I think you two will really get along. Spoilers, her boyfriend is Seth Green. And that's not that big of a deal, except for the fact that he's not played by Seth Green. He is the actor Seth Green playing himself, playing this, like, 15-year-old's boyfriend, as himself an adult actor who is in his mid-20s at the time. And they address this when he first meets the teenage boy, and it's just like, I can see why this show got canceled, because this is deeply uncomfortable and absolutely terrible. This is the worst thing that I've ever seen in my life. I want to bleach my eyeballs and hurl this show into the sun. Good God, what the hell were they thinking? I feel like they could have gotten, if it was the kind... Okay, so I'm putting my writer hat on now. I don't have any hats in the room, but just imagine that I've put my writer hat on now. I could see making it work in one very specific way. And that one very specific way is if this was the kind of show where you have a protagonist who has an overactive imagination, and we are spending most of the tenure of the programming, like, very much in this kid's head. And the kid is, like, narrating the show, so we sort of are, but he doesn't have, like, an overactive imagination with, like, you know, obvious fantasy sequences or anything that could point this to the fact that this was anything other than just it's supposed to be factual. And the way it's presented is very much factual, in as much as you do have, like, you know, the teenage girl's mom is mad at Seth Green, the adult boyfriend, not because he's dating someone who's 10 years younger than him, who is a child, but because he keeps, like, parking in front of their house with his car and it's in the way when he's picking his girlfriend up to take her to Hollywood parties as a 15-year-old teenage girl who lives in the suburbs. Who wrote this? It's so bad and cringe and deeply unsettling and uncomfortable, and I hate that it exists. But yeah, they could have done it where, like, this teenage boy has a super overactive imagination. So he feels so inadequate in comparison to the boy who's dating the girl that he has a crush on, that he meets this guy and it's the actor Seth Green, but not really. It's actually, like, a teenage boy who goes to his school, but it's just played by Seth Green, and he thinks that he's super cool and stuff and whatever. I don't know. You know, made ever so slightly less cringy by the real life knowledge that the fact that the actor who plays the girlfriend was, like, in her early 20s at the time. So, like, I don't know, seeing them hold hands feels a little bit less disgusting and horrible and creepy. But, you know, at least if it's just, like, in his imagination that this guy is, like, this super cool, you know, mature dude, when in actual fact everyone else sees him as just, like, a gawky teenager, could have worked. But even that sucks. But as it is, that they literally just explain away that this, like, random child is dating this, like, Hollywood actor. It's just like, I can see why this got canceled. I hate it. This is so uncomfortable. Tell says that sounds vaguely familiar. I'm so sorry if you had to see that show. 'Cause it really does seem like one of the worst things ever put on TV. Like, it was also just genuinely, like, not a funny show at all. Like the comedy does not land. I don't know. I think anytime you're trying to make like a comedy about like, I think there's a very difficult, I think it's a difficult demographic and a difficult sort of area to make like a sitcom about, is like teenage pubescent kids. Because, you know, like, you're wanting to deal with the stuff that they're dealing with at that age, like, you know, sort of the general sense of I'm fighting against the fact that, you know, I don't have as many freedoms as I feel like I'm mature enough to handle, but also, like, I'm going through, like, having crushes for the first time and all that, all the stuff that entails, and how weird and scary and confusing that is, and the feelings surrounding that. And a lot of that stuff can be funny, but watching it as an adult is like, ugh. I just feel bad for the teenage actors who had to act that out, you know? Because it's just such an awkward time to be alive. I don't know. There was a Canadian show about, like, two young girls of sort of roughly that age bracket that I feel like mostly got it right, but then I was watching it in the 90s when I was that age, and I was like, this is relatable content. I would not choose to watch it now because it's not for me, but it seems like this was meant to be more of like a sitcom for like the family to sit down and watch, and I'm just like, why? Like, why would you want that? This is embarrassing. This is not good. Please stop. I don't want this to exist. Anyways, so that was that. And, those are my feelings on it. Anywho. Alright. I feel like I'm approaching being done this, like, first segment of gold. I'm very annoyed by this one tiny speck of pink in the white section up here. But we're just going to breeze past that and pretend it doesn't exist for the purposes of this stream. And when I post this online, I will fix it in post and no one needs to know. I'm sorry, I don't know why that became a song. My utmost apologies. I think I'm gonna, this little extremity can be gold as well, I think. I was debating whether to do this swoop or this swoop in gold, but I have decided upon this swoop because vibes, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, as previously mentioned, we will be delving back into the exciting world of Hollow Knight Silksong, Silk in your songs, tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are also looking. I'm just gonna do this one little horn in yellow as well, because I can. I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't been playing every single day, because I have not had the time to do so, but I've played a couple of hours, maybe like 3 or 4 hours off stream. And I've had a very nice time of it whilst I have been doing it. So I didn't want to get too far ahead of the stream save, because I think it's nice to have some surprises and stuff in store whilst I am streaming. So I didn't want to overdo that. So I've been trying not to overdo that. But I have played a little bit off stream, and yeah, it remains a very fun game. And I'm looking forward to all of the creatures we will meet, and the challenges I will face, and the secret rooms that I missed on my first run through some of the areas that I'm gonna have to go back and find again. Because I found them off stream, and I was like, ah, shoot. Ah, shoot, how did I miss that? Oh, no. Cheese pizza. That was a goof. Never mind. But that's fine. I'm sure no one will mind having to like revisit. I mean, that's a Metroidvania, is that you pass through areas and then you come back either when you have new abilities or because you need to find something from there, you know. Eddie, thank you very much for the lurk and the hydrate and the posture check. All of the things. I hope you have a lovely lurk. I am going to have a little stretch and then I will take a sip. Oh, my spine. Oh, my spine and my shoulders and my neck. Ow. Okay, stretch into the right. Woof. Stretch into the left. Woof. Ugh. Okay, little twist. Little spinal twist. Little spinal twist in the other direction. All right, we're good. And a little shake out of the shoulders as well. Ah. Oh, I can feel that my chest muscles were compressed. I was so hunched over doing this detail work. Oh my goodness gracious. I am really feeling it now. Oh boy, am I feeling it now. Oh my goodness. Okay. So thank you so much for that. I really needed it. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay, I've decided to do this little curly swirly in gold as well. And what I will actually do is kind of bring it down this way. Like so. Ooh, that's fun. I like that. Okay. I think that's all of the bits that I want to be gold. I think. I think I've put enough gold bits. Again, it's really hard because I don't want to overdo it, but I also really don't want to underdo it. What I might do is actually, looking back on this sort of like bordery section now, I might just add a little, like a second layer to it so it's a little bit more saturated in the first instance, because I do really want this gold to pop. So I'm gonna just put just a second layer on it so it's a little bit more opaque, I guess. Not opaque because it's watercolor, and it's hard. It's not impossible, but it is pretty hard to make your watercolors opaque. Unless you just squeeze it directly from the tube, which you can do if you're a weirdo. But I say if you're a weirdo because I have done it. And what's the point of that? There wasn't one. But it's not the most satisfying way to paint with watercolors because they don't really want to go down nicely. As nicely as other like thick opaque paints that you could be using, like a gouache or acrylic, or even an oil paint. You know, you catch my drift, I assume. Anyways, I hope y'all have a nice rest of your day planned, whatever time it happens to be where you're at. It is definitely dinner time here, so I will be off to have a little meal in just a couple minutes. And I will probably do some hand sewing. I've got some sewing to work on. I'm trying to avoid looking at my socials too much at the moment because yesterday I just kind of got a little overwhelmed with all of the things that I things you need to know and things that people are saying and the need to know everything about all the things all the time, and I'm just like, I can't. There are some things to which I cannot affect. And as much as I like to keep informed and I like to do what I can where I can when there's stuff going on in the world, sometimes there are things that I cannot change and I cannot affect, and my thoughts, my voice are not productive. And at those times I feel like it's okay to just step away from my stupid little mental health. And just think about other things and do other things, and that's fine. That's good. That's healthy, in fact. Like, everyone should do that if you can. To just disengage, rest, look after your stupid little mental health. It's important. And so that's that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm still gonna be posting art and probably like stupid stuff. I think the last thing I didn't want to post any new art yesterday on Blue Sky, and I was like, but I want to post something just to break up all of the like wild stuff in my feed. So I just posted this screen cap from a Star Trek show. I was like, here, just have a picture of a Star Trek. These are my favorites. They're in love. And yeah. Anywho, also that JPEG is saved to my computer with the name getmarried.jpg. Yeah, anyways, having a lot of Blorbo thoughts at the moment, but I think for now, I'm having a lot of dinner time thoughts because I need to eat. So I'm going to see if there's someone we can do a little raid on, and I'm going to thank you all for hanging out with me today. It's been really, really nice. I've had a lovely time. And I think this painting is coming along super nicely. I think we're going to make some pretty good headway on it next time, if not finish. I don't want to curse it by saying we might finish, because if I say that, then we're definitely going to not. But, I'm going to not say that because I don't want to curse it. I really don't want to do that. So, yeah. Anyways, let me see. Who have we not rated it? We've not rated a while. The border is coming along so well, says Tells. I very much appreciate you saying that. I hope it'll look nice with the blue as well. I really do. Okay, I'm just going to check and make sure that this person is not just about to finish, because I'll feel real silly if they are. But they're doing some art today, apparently. Let's be accountable for our actions. Art actions. Oh, good, they're not just about to finish. Oh my god, that's cute! Okay, we're rating a cute artwork right now. I'm going to pop a generic raid message in the chat. If you have the emotes, feel free to grab the raid call with the emotes. If you do not have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message. Append any cool emotes that you do have if you would like to. The message is in the chat. I'll be back tomorrow morning playing Silksong. You may have heard of it. If you've been on this stream at all in the last few weeks, you definitely have. If you've been watching this stream, you probably have. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this stream. I've had a lovely time hanging out with you. I will be back tomorrow morning. And I'm going to go now. Take care, everyone. Good night and good luck.